Oh, hey, didn't have the intro here. Forgot about that. So we're live right now. So you got Dave walking around, and I forgot to set up the intro. So we're already live, Dave. I didn't put it on there.
Oh, what the? Oh,
I didn't have it from the thing because of I use recording studios. I take stuff on and take stuff off, and that's
oh,
what happened there.
all right.
Yeah, so I took
I
off
figure I had
that
10
intro
seconds to
there.
go grab a beer.
You usually do. You usually
Yeah.
do. So, surprise, surprise. Well, now we are actually
Yeah.
live here. Well, welcome in, everybody. Another Midwest Beer Show here on the 19th. So, heading into basically the last weekend of summer at this point now, right? So, it was like the
Yeah.
21st, I believe. And we'll be saying goodbye to that. We were just talking a little second ago. Still got some time there before the time change takes place. But, yeah, it doesn't feel like it here. It feels hot. It still feels like summer for sure.
Oh,
I don't know.
It's
Summer
like
trying
we're
to beat us
outside in
up.
our Speedos or something. Yeah, it's hot.
But today was a day where I actually got a chance to do Oktoberfest Cincinnati. So I'll talk about that here in a second. But it's one of those days when it was so hot and just the comfortability of even drinking beer. It felt like, what am I doing out here? Like this, I can't even really enjoy the beer because the heat is beating down. And started out, had a nice dunkel from West Side Brewing, and had the Sam Adams stuff happening. So we had the Oktoberfest there, and some of the Boston Lager, and we'll talk about that here in a second. And then it was almost like, okay, I got to wrap this up. So I walked around, did some footage on some stuff, and it's like, we get another beer or not? And it's like, well, no, that's like, oh, pale. Let me get a pale ale. So I ended up getting one of the Dogfish Head. They had their what's the one they have? The name of the rock group.
The Grateful Dead one?
Yeah, like the Grateful was that guy. I had that one there, which was a decent pale ale stuff. But I just needed something with some fruitiness or something in it because it was not working in the heat out there.
Yeah, I have a review for that I'm going to put up. It's kind of an interesting taste to it, but I had it in the comfort of my home, so I'm sure it hit a little different out in the blazing heat today. But yeah, that was an interesting beer.
Yeah. So it was kind of like I almost was looking for like just like a juicy hate. Like this is the time you want a beer to taste like juice because it was so hot out there.
Yeah.
But needless to say, got through it. So Oktoberfest Cincinnati is going through the weekend here. Had a great opportunity, and I'll put some stuff up on the community page for those that watch here on the Facebook. You can see, but I got a chance to actually meet and talk with Jim Cook for a bit. Real cool guy, really laid back considering how long he's actually, been doing stuff. This icon. And being part of the American Craft Beer Hall of Fame as the elector, he was one of the people. I did vote for him, and he got in the inaugural class. And we were kind of talking about some of the stuff there, and didn't realize he was a sixth generation brewer.
Yeah.
So his family's been brewing in one way or another since the 1840s, which is kind of crazy. Then he was like, when he wanted to go do stuff, his dad was like, basically, are you effing crazy? Like, but it was like in his blood too and stuff. And just kind of talking about the passion he had then and the passion he still has here and being the headwinds that some of the other breweries are going through, but there's still the opportunity out there to do stuff. And he was able to encourage some of the other people that do have some of the brewers. I ended up meeting from one of the breweries from upstate New York that came down. I think Wanda Brew Works, I believe, and you had a chance to actually talk with Jim Cook as well. And just, there's a lot of stuff out there and you're able to pick his brain for a bit. So it was a great session, and it was great that they actually allowed us to all get together. Shout out to Lexi for getting that done. Shout out to Keith from the local Sam Adams Tap House here. Going to be doing some stuff out there. And actually, he rolled out the carpet. Anytime you want to come out there and shoot some videos and go live, whatever it's all yours. Come out there and do it. So look forward to doing some stuff. Yeah. So I'll be doing some stuff probably from the tap room at some point there, but they got some good stuff happening. Or actually, some breaking news. I used to have a breaking news thing. Do I have a breaking news thing? I might have took it off of here, but they are actually
took out the intro. I'm sure you took that out.
I had a thing for breaking news, but let me see. I was looking at my thing here. Yeah, I took it out. I have to put it back up here at some point. But for those in the Cincinnati area, they are going to be having Utopias in. They're going to be serving Utopia at the Cincinnati Tap House. They're going to have it on tap. They got a keg or two in, I know, but they're going to be doing some different stuff with it there. And they're actually coming out with the anniversary beer that's going to be done in Utopia barrels. So hopefully, I was told I was on the list for that. So hopefully, I'll get a chance to try that and be able to share it as well. So a lot of good stuff that they're doing at the brewery that'll be looking forward to. So I haven't been over there since when I came back. I went over there, I think, probably December or so. So I'm due to go back out and make a visit there. And then also here in Cincinnati, just got an email earlier today. Got to reach back out to them, but I'm going to probably be at a Mad Tree event at Mad Tree Brew. They're going to have here at the end of September, I think October 1st maybe. And they just teamed up with New Riff Distilling to make like a bourbon sway combination. So basically taking the soda water they use for their vodka soda and then making like a highball bourbon type thing. But they got
that sounds great.
Yeah. So they're gonna have a happy hour for us to come out and kind of sample and talk about that with them and stuff. So stay tuned for that as well. And I'll get some details and get that stuff all put together. So a lot of good things on the agenda that actually happening. But Oktoberfest Cincinnati, did have a cup here. Kind of like not a cup I put in a bag, but I did get right here. Jim Cook like signed off on the cup and everything.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it was to Rod and it said cheers, and the cheers got a little smudge, but Jim signed it there. So I'll put it on the back with the autograph table over there. But they did provide us with a grab bag. So I thought I'd share some of the different stuff in the grab bag. Unfortunately, the grab bag itself, I put too much in it and the strap broke. So after I take this stuff out, I don't have to throw it away.
Oh, this is kind of like a live unbagging video.
It is like a live unbagging. And I have not really looked in to see all the stuff they have in here yet. So I'm going to share that here real quick. But shout out to actually CD and Geraldine. Great to have you in as well.
Yeah.
Cheers. And then shout out to JT in the house as well. So cheers there too. Now, what I did actually put in here, because we do have some of the German vendors over here as well. So I'll share this first because I do have the Oktoberfest hat and I do have the pins on it. So I always like to see what they come over with so I can pick up the new pins for that. And here is one of those pins right there to go onto the hat there. A little mug of beer from Germany, so to speak.
There you go.
Yeah, so that'll be a nice little pin.
I got a beer in front pin for you.
Oh, you got a beer in front? Hey, we'll make some room for it.
Pin. Yeah.
The Oktoberfest 2025 Cincinnati. Put up on there. And then this one was kind of cool too. And it's for Baron. And throw that up on there. I got a few friends that are FC Baron fans when it comes to football, as they call it over there, not soccer like we call it over here. So that'll be kind of cool.
Oktoberfest jersey they put out for this year?
No, I did not see that.
Every year they put out like a special one-off. I think they only wear it like one game a year, but an Oktoberfest. This one was kind of muted, so it wasn't as good. They had one, pardon me, a couple years ago that was, and I should have bought it when I saw it, but I'm like, I don't really follow them all that much. Do I want to spend $150 on a jersey I might only wear once? But it was just a sweet looking like green jersey with a bunch of different designs and then the team logo on there. But yeah, every year they put an Oktoberfest jersey out, which is cool.
Yeah, that's really cool. Speaking of jerseys too, that reminds me. So one of the things they actually had there that was presented to Jim was from FC Cincinnati. They presented him. They presented him with a scarf and also a jersey as well, which is pretty cool. And then I was trying to get some video or a picture of it, him holding it up, but the guy kept talking his ear off. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to get this done. So, but no, that was nice. Had it on the back of that Cook on the back of the jersey, said it personalized for him, and it was awesome. And he was actually pleased to actually receive the stuff too. And funny thing, like talking with him, it was like us like just talking here, right? And just cool, laid back, never thought twice about anything. And then one of the other guys was posting a thing on his channel about interviewing him, and like Oh, I never just, you told me like years ago I'd be standing across interviewing a billionaire, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I never really thought, you just never really thought about that, him actually being a billionaire out there, which was pretty cool. So, but you would never know it from talking to him. He's just like such a down to earth person,
Yeah.
We kind of talked
Should have told him to sign up for your Patreon or something. Hey, hey, Jim, do me a favor. Thanks for the mug, but Patreon.com. Yeah.
Like, Jim, you're getting up there. You need beneficiaries.
Yeah.
We don't want your money going to the state, so how can I help you out there?
Yeah.
Let me know. I'd be more than happy to be listed, sir.
Yeah.
But no, it was great to actually have that availability to kick it with him. And like I said, he was just so cool and just down to earth and just a great guy overall. But so the bag here was a Samuel Adams bag.
Living the American dream. All right. Awesome.
Yeah. And it says on the back here, the beer doesn't just taste good. It does good. So a lot of the stuff they're kind of doing different things around communities and stuff. And they just recently had the scholarship thing we did. I forgot who ended up winning, but I know Liquid Intrusion was a runner up with them. So that was kind of cool. We talked about that. But in the bag, so one of the things they had in here, like a heavy book, and this is probably what broke the strap, our American Dream Cookbook.
Oh, awesome.
So that's pretty cool. So tons of recipes in here. And then you can see the back where they've done the photo stuff there, and Jim's on the back with everybody. And
might have to buy that one right now because I'm doing my beer and food stuff.
Favorite recipes and the inspiring journeys of 80 culinary trailblazers from Samuel Adams brewing the American Dream. So Jim did a forward and stuff in here, but you got a lot of different dishes. If you like to cook and do some stuff, it's pretty cool. They also have some pretty cool pictures of Jim along the years coming up doing the beer stuff too. So shout out to them, and it's a little piece on here how it all began. So not only just for the good recipes, but just to do some reading, you can learn a lot about Sam Adams, what they're actually doing. Sam Adams Summer Ale, and you can make it an ale tail where they have a summer ale mezcal margarita. They give you the recipe for that as well, which actually does look pretty good. Let's give that a try. Smoky BLT dip, mung bean pancake with chutney, then buxus with feta and dill. So a lot of different stuff and a lot of fancy stuff. So yeah, umami turkey burgers with mushrooms and onions. There you go. So
I don't dance with mushrooms. I'm gonna have to pass on that.
So that was pretty cool there that they have that. And then also in here, got a Sam Adams glass.
Oh, there you go.
Sam Adams glass there too, which is nice that they provided. And Sam Adams cup koozie as well.
You can never have enough koozies.
None up there. And a bottle opener from Sam Adams.
I have that bottle opener.
Oh, okay. And they get anything else? Yeah. Oh, yeah. They got this too. So if you're a grill, they have they do a Oktoberfest rub now. So they provided a sample of that to use some spicing up stuff there. So that's actually pretty cool as well. And, I guess there's 2 rubs in here actually.
All right.
All right. And I think that's everything in there. I did run into somebody and they were giving out chocolates. I got a couple chocolates in here. But they've probably been melted the hell out of them right now. So I have to put them in the fridge and see if I can bring that stuff into them. But no, that was cool. They had us out there for a social media thing and provided this stuff. Oh, and a Sam Adams American Light lip balm.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Because nobody wants chapped lips, right? You don't want chapped lips.
Moisturize. Gotta moisturize.
Yeah. So that's everything there. So shout out to them. Nothing they really needed to do, but it was nice that they kind of just provided that kind of stuff to share with us for the event. So, but I'll put up the pictures and stuff like that, and then some of the other stuff. She said, "See me before you attempt red beans and rice." Just saying. Yeah. Kidney beans and rice is a good combo. I don't say what's up, Vanessa. I've never kidney beans and rice. I don't know. I guess you could. I know the red beans and rice is a big dish, but why not kidney beans? Vanessa, everybody said hello, and hello. So so that was a cool thing today, and I'm glad to be here because I was telling Dave it was so hot out there. I mean, I could have come home and just went into right to sleep if I wanted to, and it would have been like I would have been out. So, but then but I power through. And Dave, you cracked a beer open, all right? What beer are you drinking over there?
I wanted to get got an Illinois one here from Noon Whistle called Duh Gummy because it's a play on Duh Bears, and it's a better beer than the Bears are playing right now, so that's good. So decent hazy IPA. Noon Whistle always puts out a solid beer, 6.6%. They're out of Lombard, Illinois, but this is hazy with cashmere, strata, chinook, and mosaic hops. Pretty tasty. I'm digging it.
Okay, nice. Well, you guys missing Justin Fields there now? I don't even know who your quarterback is.
Caleb.
Oh, that's right.
Don't. This is a happy hour show. Let's not talk about the Bears. And you're going to be out. You're missing Joe for a couple months, so it's not
at
good.
least 3. They're saying, Bengals go 2-0 and lose their quarterback. I mean, I always put that on the Bengals. I said when Joe got drafted, you better get him a line. Because he ain't gonna last long, so
Yeah, I read one thing. He's gonna be the Luck from Indianapolis. He's gonna be like the new Andrew Luck. I mean, he just gets pummeled back there.
Yeah. I mean, you're shortening the guy's career when you're putting him in there.
Yeah.
I just always hear him say just red beans, right? But they're technically kidney beans. I always use Great Northern. Yeah, the white beans there, variety of red beans, but they aren't coming down there. Yeah, when I do like the chili that I make, I use like 3 beans in that. Usually kidney beans will be in there, and I'll put I'll make it like pinto or another one, but usually 3 different beans, and then obviously the meat, the onions, other stuff, the spices, and you put the beer. The beer does go on my chili, and people like it.
Speaking of beer and
I was going to say, last time my mother-in-law came up, she was actually upset because I didn't make it. She was looking forward to having it when she was here. So now when she comes back this year, I'll have to make it again. So,
speaking of beer, you kind of broke up a little bit, so I don't know. But if you had, they have that new chunky soup with PBR, and one of them is beans and chili.
I have not had that. I did a press release on that on the website, but I've not picked that up or seen it yet to actually pick up.
I was looking because they have another one that I want to pick up. It's like a baked potato soup with chorizo, but I guess it's a Walmart exclusive. So I was looking, I didn't see it at my grocery store. I was trying to like where can I buy it? Do I have to buy it on Amazon? But it's a Walmart exclusive. And I went to their website. All right, I'll just order a couple cans, order some stuff.
Right.
And with that, I have to go pick it up. So I'm like, there's not really a Walmart near me, but I guess I'll find one or put the word out. Hey, anybody at work gets this, just get it and I'll pay you for it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. They got the exclusive on it. Now, I will say one thing I just did see, and I was like, I didn't seen it before, and actually I was kind of seeing. I was moving back. I haven't bought a grill yet anyway, but even with the grill, I'm more of a gas guy. But now our Kroger does have the Miller Lite charcoal. So we have the Miller Lite charcoal that's actually in the store now. So I was kind of like, I don't have a grill, and I don't usually use charcoal, but it's just, and that came out like months and stuff ago. So I figured maybe they didn't sell as much as they thought they were. Now they're getting into the stores and stuff. But or more stores to get it out of inventory. Nostalgic NFL season for me so far. The Saints sucked hard for most of my childhood, early 20s. Yeah, Saints were bad for a long time. Yeah. So I'm actually cleaning out some of the stuff in my beer freezers I have right now. So I'm actually realized I had another one of the all black everything breakfast stout still in there from Esoteric and Elmatic in their collaboration. 7.9% ABV. I was like, oh, I need to drink that. So that's what I'm drinking right now. Stout, mixing it up there.
Yeah.
But that was like this at the event today, awesome type thing. One of the things I saw this week as well, and I had a picture of it on the Facebook page. I don't really need to pull it up, but so I don't know how they calculated all the details, but stat wise, they got some of the 50 drunkest counties in the country.
Oh,
41 are in Wisconsin, which we know Wisconsin can put back some beer. We've always seen or read about the Wisconsin drinkers that take place, but I think the whole country, 41 of the top 50 are out there. So I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe when it gets hard winters, you can't really do anything, but you're in the house just drinking and watching movies or whatever, because you're like 10, 11 feet of snow or something. You're not going anywhere. So it's just interesting to think that one state dominates by that much.
I mean, you look at New Glarus, and they always do Wisconsin. They don't, distribute, and they're like the 11th or 12th, top selling craft brewery in the country, and all they do is their own state.
Yeah. Well, this might be why, because they drink so much of it. It makes it worth it for them not to go anywhere else. But that was a staggering stat that I saw this week.
Yeah. I was going to do like a Charles Barkley joke in there about, I'm just not going to go there. This is maybe if I have a couple more of these, I might, but I'm going to.
I kind of want to hear you do your Charles
alone right now.
I want to hear you do your Charles Barkley.
No, well, once we, the after show.
I want to hear your terrible.
Yeah, that's for the paying subscribers.
Yeah. Well, if you ever go to Wisconsin, folks, don't worry. They'll have enough beer there for you, apparently. So
yeah,
no running out of beer in that state. And then, so upcoming, we also have Ohio Craft Beer and Ohio Pint Day happening next week here in Ohio. I know, Dave, you saw the glass there as well.
Yes.
But that'll be on September 23rd. So that'll be next week. And I'll pull up the glass here and take a look at it real quick.
Yes, and you need to acquire 2 of those glasses, one for your friend in Illinois.
Yeah. So I'll have to see where they actually have those at to check those out. And I know a lot of other people were pumped up to add those to the collection as well.
You're Mr. Ohio. You could get 2 of those. You are Mr. Ohio.
I may know somebody, right? So it's a nice looking glass. I mean, we're going with the taller kind of Pilsner this year. Yeah, because usually I think the last few years have been the shaker pint. So nice seeing them going to a Pilsner on this one now. So yeah,
definitely. One of those needs to find its way, through Ohio, through Indiana, up around Chicago.
The dangerous thing is when you can't write fragile on the box because it gets thrown around, but you need it to be fragile when they deliver. So you got to definitely put enough wrapping paper and plastic and cellophane or whatever you need to put in there to make sure protect it.
You know what I've used and it's worked well? Like the Amazon, like the poly bags that are already bubble wrapped. So I've saved those and wrapped glasses in the Amazon bags and then put it with other packing material. But that's worked well.
Okay, that could be something there too. Then, yeah. Well, sometimes they get the glass; they'll get them in a box too. So hopefully, it's in a box as well to help keep it safe there. I'm a little skeptical about that Wisconsin drinking meme. If true, it's a recent development, or so it seems. Well, I know, like when they do like the top 10 beer drinking cities, Wisconsin usually has 5 or 6 on the list.
Yeah.
And there's not a list coming out of Wisconsin. It's like out of just like Brewers Association or other spots. Like it seems to be legit on how much they're drinking up there.
Yeah.
I mean, they put cheese in their head at football games. They got to be drinking something. Yeah. They're trying to hide their meth problem behind the wall of kegs. What does mom make? Does meth make you thirstier?
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know either.
Yeah.
We'll have to ask Peggy.
Yeah.
No, we don't want Peggy picking up any dependencies. So
no. But Peggy might be taking a break if I'm going to be off of work, so you never know.
Oh yeah. Peggy, we're going to hold off from having you on for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Things are a little tight right now.
Yeah.
So let's see here. So then we had Bell's. Bell's is actually celebrating their 40 years now, right? So they got that taking place, and they're not done apparently. So they got their 40 years, and they're also $20 million investment. So they're putting money back into the brewery to make more things even happen and even grow it out further. So I know some of their distribution have pulled back from a few things, and they were acquired under New Belgium, I believe. So, but they're getting infused with some more money to do stuff. So that'll be interesting to see what takes place there. And I think they're doing a special expedition stout this year.
Yeah,
the
that
30th
looks
anniversary
fantastic.
of that too. Yeah, so if you happen to see that out there, I would definitely say to try to pick that up. And it's going to be like there. It's going to be at Bell's, and then it's going to be probably around that Michigan area. So if you happen to see it, definitely worth trying to grab it.
I've always been able to get like the expedition stout and stuff here, so hopefully I can get that because that's always a great beer. But yeah, that's like the special edition. Hopefully we get that because that really looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a great stout as it is. So
yeah,
I forgot what they were barreling and stuff in for the anniversary, but it'd be a great job.
Yeah.
So look forward to seeing what happens there. And then we get into, so it's the last weekend, unfortunately. People knew it was coming though, but up in Northern Ohio, Royal Docks is on their final weekend. I think we may have touched on them last show, maybe a little bit, but just amazing on them having to basically now be heading to close their doors after being one of the fastest growing breweries out there for such a long time. But it ran its course, and that's the case that's taking place. So they'll be closing up after the weekend, and anybody up in that Northern Ohio area wants to swing by and check it out. It'll be like check them out, pay your respects, I guess, and have one last round with them up there. So
tip your bartender as well.
Tip them well. And I think they're like in, I believe, the Akron area is where they're located. Okay. So hopefully they'll get their support and stuff up there. I mean, you never know nowadays. These breweries, one goes down and one pops right in, but they did have a presence up there. And a lot of people really enjoyed what they were doing. So it wasn't like when Platform did their thing and then they were just like, okay, we'd like to check now. That's what we were here for. So they were actually trying to make some pretty good beer out there.
Yeah, speaking of one moving out and one moving in, Wheeling, there's District Brew Yards, and they have the original ones in the city of Chicago. Their second location was in Wheeling. They took over, I don't know if you remember, if they were even out by you, but remember the chain brewery, the Ram?
Mm-hmm.
They were out there, and it was this great spot. So District Brew Yards took them over, and it was a great location, and they had like a lot of good breweries. They're kind of like an incubator for breweries to, they could get their stuff out. They're closing in Wheeling like soon, and they're even selling the one in Chicago. So that's not good news. The one on Ashland Avenue in Chicago is the one I'm more familiar with. They're really good, but you have breweries like Twisted Hippo, Casa Humilde, both of which I love. They're some of my favorites. You also have Burnt City around the bend that they brew there. So I don't know what's going to happen with them. Like, where are these breweries going to like brew now? Especially like Twisted Hippo, because their place in Chicago that was close to me burnt down. They started brewing over at District Brew Yards, and now they're closing. So that really sucks. But, it just sounds like the owners were just like, this is a time it ran its course. And, hopefully like the Wheeling location and the city one, something else comes in there because they're big locations. You could brew a lot of beer there. So hopefully somebody else with deeper pockets wants to get in there and, reopen those locations.
Yeah. I mean, you just don't know,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever the reason that might have been behind it, maybe more will come out over the time. as well. But
I think we've talked about it before that, for a while in the beginning stages of craft breweries, people were opening up breweries were beer people. They were home brewers. They were, they were crafts people, men and women. And now lately, a lot of it's just money people looking to make money. And, we all know craft beer is slowly going down. And I think the money people are looking for more return on their investment. If they're not getting what they expected, they still might be profitable, but not as profitable as they want.
Yeah, I mean, it's like anything in a business cycle. So you definitely have that thing, and now you've got that industry where you do have investors that come in, and some of them, depending on how you set up your brewery, you set them up as independent, but if you take on investors, you become beholden to them at a point as well. And they're going to want to see some stuff. And if you're not careful, they'll end up taking it over for you, So you got to make sure you're getting stuff done and you know where the control and stuff is. And, you don't want to you can be forced out just like anybody can with any investment type company out there. So,
I mean, you just wish it'd be more beer people instead of like Ted DiBiase type people. Just, everybody's got a price. Yeah.
But some of the people that are doing it, I mentioned Platform. They were one of the ones that said they were building up and they were going to try to sell it whenever they got a good offer. And Anheuser-Busch said 20 million or whatever the number was. And they were like, we'll take it. We're out. See you guys. Yeah. And just like, that was it. So,
yeah. Golden Road was the same way.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, it's all about what they do. And I think that's kind of the thing with, someone like Jim Cook and what he's done with Boston Beer is kind of like just hasn't really went down that road. Just all these years of actually keeping it that way. And he stepped away and now he's back into the CEO role again when the other person has stepped out. But it's kind of like he never really had that thing where it was going to kind of be sold off that way. And I'm sure he got tons of offers over the years, right? Like, so it's tough. Not everybody can do it. Some people, the numbers are just that good. It's like, okay, we're happy to take that.
Yeah.
Shout out Blake as well, my friend. Great to see you, homie. And JT's having a Revolution Oktoberfest. Still only $11.99 for a sixer at Cardinal.
Yeah.
Is that usually a good price for them? Like, are they usually higher in some spots? Revolution
it's about
Chicago?
Average. That's about average for that. I mean, sometimes you might see it at your grocery store on sale for like $1 cheaper, if they're running a special that week, but that's about the going rate.
Okay. Yeah, we
$2 a beer. You can't go wrong with $2 a beer.
No, our Kroger that I have near me, you can make a 6-pack. It's $11.99, and they actually do have some decent craft beers they actually put in it. I mean, you could actually put in like not that everybody goes crazy for it now, but like they'll have like Zombie Dust, and if you can make a 6-pack of Zombie Dust, it'll be cheaper than getting the 6-pack. Because you did to make it yourself, you got it cheaper doing it that way.
That's going to be the next beer I crack open. I'm going to crack open one. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, I don't know who stocked this, but you guys aren't doing it right. It's cheaper to make it over here than to buy it over there. But, who am I to complain?
The Jewel by me, which it's right across from Hop Butcher. They don't do it anymore. They used to make your own, 6-packs. And back before everybody knew about Founders, when everybody was big on Kentucky breakfast stout, like the people that worked the beer department didn't know anything about beer. They would put that in the build your own 6-pack, and it was like a 6-pack for $9.99 when they were selling a 4-pack of that for like $15. So people would just put 4 KBS in there or whatever was left, and then put like 2, whatever.
It doesn't even matter your head at that point.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah. I've seen some of the times at Kroger where you could tell somebody stocked it, had no idea what they were doing. Like, And JT and Blake said, hey. Corporate beer investor like Hippie. I got to think keep popping up on my screen. Hippie wannabes showing up in 8 Asbury in 1973 or 4 years. Too late to be cool. Yeah. But I mean, it's a business cycle. So once you see a market having success, people like to try to buy into it if they can.
Mhm.
Kroger beer is legit. Well, not Kroger beer with the beer in Kroger, right? What's happening, JV? A lot of markups on local craft beer. Yeah, well, you're going to see markups on it because the pricing's changed on a lot of stuff because of the whole tariff type things, and then stores going to have to make their margins, and it's going to be passed to consumers. So that's why it's going to be all interesting to see what takes place here with everything along those lines. But yeah, unfortunately, that's going to be the case, and I don't know. I haven't seen anything terrible really here. I've seen some stuff maybe a little higher than what it was, but I've seen stuff still discounted than what it was too. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. And those guys said cheers, JV, JT. And then we already did the wheeling one, so that one was down there. And then we had the I'll let you do this, to shake up with the Illinois craft beer deal and the changes taking place there as well.
Yeah. The Illinois Craft Brewers Guild, the executive director, Ray Stout, his position was eliminated. And it really, Ray's a friend of mine. I mean, I met him through the guild, but I consider him a friend of mine. So it kind of hurts to see him be let go. From what I'm gathering, the position is not going to be filled. So everybody that's in the guild just has to, pick up the pace and, pick up the slack. But it's big shoes to fill because Ray was a good man. He did a lot of work for advocacy for breweries and even consumers here in Illinois. But, Ray is a terrific guy, and I'm really sad that, he's not going to be with the guild anymore, but he's a stand-up guy. He reached out to him on Instagram saying, hey, I'm hearing a rumor. He was like, yeah, it's just a tough time in the industry. But, like I said, he's a stand-up guy. He was like, if you ever need somebody to come on the show to talk about beer, I'm more than happy to. So, Ray's a great guy. I'm sorry to see him go. Hope he lands on his feet real soon. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, what happens with the Illinois.
Oh, I lost you there for a second. Okay.
Yeah, I have you now. You froze up, but now you're good.
Yeah, you froze up on my thing. I don't know, it might be StreamYard doing something here. But it's interesting because how do you eliminate, like, his role being eliminated if he's the executive director?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah, I don't know. And, whatever. I mean, times are tough all over. And, I'm sure that's not a decision that was made lightly, because I know personally what he does for the breweries and the guild and, like I said, beer drinkers and everybody. Like, he's there pushing agendas in Springfield, our nation, or our state's capital. So, I mean, Ray's a great guy, and hopefully the people that are taking over all his roles, I'm sure they're going to do a great job. So, more power to him. And, but I feel bad for Ray because, like I said, I consider him a friend of mine. Yeah.
It will be, hopefully, knock on wood, he lands and stuff going. It seemed like, from what I know from the interviews and stuff you've done with him, seems to be solid, and no doubt he'll be picked up somewhere to do something. But still a tough thing there. Let's see comments here. It depends on the store. A couple of bougie bottle shops on Brockwell near my apartment were a Sixer Revolution going for $15. Yeah, I mean,
well, you're on the bougie side of Rockwell. You need to come on like my side, on the Burning Bush side of Rockwell. Just head over to Burning Bush.
Some of these stores will take advantage of you if they can. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Coincidence that Shannon Todd is on the show and it's National Curtains Day? I think not. No, they don't come on this one. No, this is just me and Dave on this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a zombie dust. I'll be back in a second.
All right. Okay. Yeah, Todd will be back on the happy hour next week, but on this one, this is just for us doing the Midwest stuff here. Big Daddy in the house. Cheers, my friend. A Beezer from Old Irvin, great 6.7% IPA. I've not heard of that one there, so that's It's Old Irvin, so I know it's gonna be good, right? Yeah. And then shout out for JT also to Big Daddy there. Yeah, so the one, like I said, I'm drinking the all black everything breakfast stout. It was one that I pulled from the fridge that I still had in there. I needed to finish out, and it was at 7.9%, but it's solid. It contains flaked oats, cocoa nibs. I'm sorry, cacao nibs, vanilla beans, and coffee beans. Pretty solid. And then Dave just went to go get a classic of the zombie dust to actually drink here.
It's still weird just seeing this in cans. Just remember this in bottles for so many years.
Yeah.
Hold on. My dog. Go see your mother.
Yeah, I think it was just speaking of cans and bottles, I'd have to double check it, but I think it was Molson Coors that just said they're getting rid of bottles. Oh, Moosehead. Okay.
Moosehead, yeah.
Moosehead's getting rid of the bottles. Okay. And going to be all cans or kegs. So it is what it is there.
I mean, this Zombie Dust is still a great beer, but God, you remember like the uproar when this came out? Like there was a couple times in Munster, Indiana is not that close for me, but a few times like I went there and they had signs at the brewery, no Zombie Dust. So you couldn't even get it there. And like, if you could get it, if like your Binny's here in Chicago, I'm sure Jungle Jim's was the same way. Like they put a limit, like a 1 6-pack, a limit, per person. You could not just like load up on this. And now you can get it in mixed packs. You can get it in everything now.
Yeah, I remember stores would have limit, like only 1 6-pack or whatever per purchase. And I don't know, Jungle Jim's is one of those stores. I don't know if they ever did it there to say because they get stuff in. And I've never seen anybody put limit on stuff. It's kind of like if you're there, you're there. And if you want to buy it, buy it. Yeah. So, but Zombie Dust, I remember being in little local spots and it was like, you were limited, or you would have like if you went over to Indiana to 450 North, they would limit you on how many you could buy there and some stuff.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I mean, you would think for the store owner, they would just want to sell if it's that popular, let it sell to whoever, but they do want to make sure a lot of times I guess to get it more out to different people. But yeah,
it's like frustrating. You go there and it's like you brew the shit here. You should have it here. You can't get it in Munster. I mean, they had it on tap. You're there, but like you drive there, you want to grab a case, throw it in the trunk to bring home with you, and you couldn't even buy that.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the beers that like put Citra hops on the map.
Yeah.
Because, it's a Citra hop beer, and then for a while Citra, and it's still extremely popular hop, but
yeah.
You got to raise a glass to Three Floyds on that one because whoever owns the name of Citra, you made some money off of Three Floyds.
Well, that's one that used to confuse people as well because it's not actually technically an IPA; it's a pale ale, and everybody kind of assumed it was an IPA, and it was like the line is so thin. I mean, but it is just a pale ale. That's excessively hot, but
Undead pale ale. 6.5%. So I mean, it's on the high end of a pale ale.
Yeah. Well, those lines change now with some of the brewers, what they're doing and stuff too. It's like, stout tastes like a porter. I mean, technically a stout is a porter, but they're more closer in line to confuse people now than what it used to be, right? So like Victory at Sea, that was an imperial porter, but a lot of people think it would have been a stout. It was just like it was such a good beer. That's probably the one beer I missed the most from Ballast Point. It would be those.
Yeah.
Have you ever did,
like they used to do the variants here where you could buy in the old bombers, but they had like a peppermint one that you could even get at our Costco when Costco would do bombers, but they had the peppermint and that was a phenomenal beer.
Yeah, I never had the peppermint one, but I had some of the other ones, and it was just like they didn't miss a mark whenever I had any of their Victory at Seas. They were always so solid. That was one of the few beers that I had that I've ever given like a 5 to, like for my own personal thing when I do Untapped. Like it was just blew me away. Zombie Dust and Gumball Head, possible to find back in the day.
Yeah.
Gumball, I've done beer festivals and I've worked the booth with Gumball Head, and it's amazing. Like people that will, they don't do it as much now, but years ago, I mean, the line would just push back. Like when they knew Gumball Head was there at the beer event, it's like they just wanted to come over there and get that off the bat. So
that was my pregame beer before we started.
There you go. Yeah. If you're in a bar, always buy bottled beers. When a fight breaks out, they work better than the cans. Yeah. Unless you can rip the can top off, right? You can rip the can, then you become a different type of weapon. JV, you may have watched Roadhouse one too many times. Yeah. Had a Zombie Dust on tap at Gino East on Superior last weekend. Some friends were from out of town. There you go. Nice. But yeah, Zombie Dust, definitely a classic there. And we're getting Oktoberfest now. Obviously, the pumpkin stuff out there, but what about Christmas? Because the Christmas bell is already being rang, and Great Lakes will be having their first pour Christmas on Thursday, October 16th, starting at 11 a.m. with the ceremonial keg tapping at 11:30. And you had pointed that out there, Dave, about them having the first pour. And looking into it, they actually have a contest too. If you go to Great Lakes Brewing, there's a contest where I guess you could be that one or two people that tap the keg with them. There's like those special things you get if you're picked or chosen for it. So they have a little contest in play up there in Cleveland. But yeah, I mean, Christmas beers are about to hit as well. So, which I think last year, Trogs and their Mad Elf might have been out towards like mid-October as well, and some other ones started hitting. So pumpkin season squeezed a little bit more so we can get Christmas out there. So
yeah, I'm sure we'll be seeing like Sierra Nevada Celebration out soon, which you'll never hear an argument from me. Celebration's probably like, I don't know. I don't think that's a beer nobody has a bad word about.
No, it's a top-notch one for sure that they actually do with that. And it's it's interesting. I just did the review. The last beer review I did was what I had actually here that was held out for a bit, but it was from Heartland Brewing in Ohio. It was their cheer. It was their cheer, and it was a spiced ale. Still solid, and it's just like a little holiday cheer here in September, and start getting in the mood. But it was one of those ones that tasted Christmassy, right? So it had that Christmas type feel to it, and those beers started hitting. I do have pumpkin. I did finally pick up, and I'll have the review. I got to do it. I'll do the review on it. But I did pick up the caramel pumpkin. So I got to try that because I've never had that one. And then I picked up the Warlock with the maple syrup Warlock.
Okay.
So I got to do both of those at some point here. But pumpkin for me is more October, so a little bit more out there.
It's 90 degrees today. We're not doing pumpkin today.
This is not a pumpkin day at all for me. Yeah.
Yeah, but reading the release about the Great Lakes Christmas, have you had the barrel-aged Christmas?
I actually have one in there to do a review, and I haven't done it yet. So
because they're going to bring that back again this year, and that was spectacular. I mean, Great Lakes Christmas, like all of their variants, like the Oktoberfest is one of my favorites, and the Irish Red they do, Conway's, that's one I grab every year. But like the Christmas is always probably, now that Anchor Steam doesn't do their Christmas stuff anymore, I would say the bigger national breweries, the Great Lakes Christmas is probably my favorite. And their barrel aged, outstanding. And it's not like heavy. It's not like a 14%er like some of your barrel aged stouts, but just like the nuances you get from the bourbon barrels and that. Oh my God. Great Lakes, if you're listening, send some to Chicago.
Hook a brother up.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do some great stuff. In fact, just had it here. Yeah, Big Daddy was talking about first beer tonight was Nosferatu. He loves every year that comes out. He's right into it once it comes out. Talking about red ale.
Sneeze. Hold on one second.
Okay. One of the best imperial red ales to actually enjoy out there, Nosferatu from Great Lakes. And then, yeah, seeing yellow leaves falling on my street a little early, but everything bloomed
Yeah.
early this year. I think all the temperatures just messing with stuff. We had like some of our trees changing earlier this year
Yeah.
already, and it's like that's usually October when it happens. But plants are getting screwed up with some of the weather stuff as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing we had was I'll let you hit on this, the Surly collab that's taking place.
Yeah, that sounded really cool. Let me pull it up.
I got
So
it.
Surly, and Surly's out of Minnesota. They're collaborating on this beer with Double Elbow, and it sounds like really good. It's European style. Well, Double Elbow does European style lagers, but this beer sounds really cool. They're using from Riggs Brewery, which is in Illinois. They're using a low oil corn. Now, I don't know exactly what that is, but the barley comes from Troubadour Farms in Fort Collins. And I just had the folks on from Troubadour on my second to last episode for Craft Malt Month. So I'm looking forward. I hope I can get my hands on this. I think it's just going to be a Minnesota only release, but Surly always puts out some good stuff. It sounds like this one's going to be fantastic with the stuff from Riggs and the stuff from Troubadour Malting. So it says it's going to be on tap at their Surly Fest Bash. I don't know if it's going to be available, but if it's available, I need to get my hands on this one.
Yeah, 4.4% ABV. I was allowed the name Freak on a Leash is the name of the beer. Pours a clear light straw color with low bitterness and nuts of biscuit, fresh hay, and corn chip. There you go. Which is always funny when you see
that. That sounds outstanding.
Yeah. And that's kind of like we do like some of the reviews and stuff sometimes, and it's like, I feel like it's like corn chip, but am I right to say corn chip? Yeah, well, apparently some stuff is corn chip, right? Or we talk about like the barnyard smell, like what's based like the fresh hay type thing. Or, it's just funny when you see other stuff validated. Well, damn, I had it right then on what it was. Some of the terms
tastes
in
like
beer,
Doritos.
Yeah. Some of the terms in beer that you come across sometimes, you're like, it doesn't sound right, but it does sound right. So you're second guessing yourself. Like, anything else like musk, that wouldn't be good. Well, some IPAs is kind of musky. Well, okay, but oh yeah. And then we had 18th Street Brewery, which it's kind of sad there. They're selling their brew house. 18th Street does some really good beers.
Yeah, and they're out of like Hammond, Indiana, so not that far from Three Floyds, but I think this kind of took just a lot of people by surprise that, their stuff is on the market where you could buy like their fermenters and tanks. So there hasn't been a lot more news about that, but 18th Street put out some, solid stuff. So, hopefully they can rebound or, somebody could put these fermenters to good use.
Yeah, I actually met one of their owners before who was going through one of the distributors I knew here in Cincinnati, and had a pretty good, crew and stuff like that, doing some great stuff. So it's sad to see. I mean, they said they're putting to work, and everybody loved their beers, and I knew that had their beer. So it's kind of weird to see that they're actually going to be going through this process.
Yeah, I mean, there was a couple of their beers that we could get here, not a lot. So they didn't have a big footprint here in Chicago, but what I had, I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But, like we've always said, it's tough right now.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got a beer you enjoy, make sure you go and show some love and work to kind of keep them around. Right. So, and then Big Muddy Monster Brewfest. That's another one that you actually came across there too. And pull that up here. Oh, maybe not, because now the link that was working before is saying
I had the same thing. I couldn't pull that link back up. So if you like Big Muddy, they got a fest. That's all I know.
What kind of shit is that? You don't have permission, Big Muddy. What? Big money, you might be. Maybe you guys gonna be in trouble too. Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, one of the other things I actually saw too, I don't know if you saw this or not, but it was kind of like the states with the most breweries per capita.
Yeah. That Vine Pair article.
Yeah, the vibe pair, and was kind of interesting because I saw that was somewhere else. Pull that up here. If they had let us go in and check that out. And I was thinking somebody had this. I think it was something that someone had maybe posted at one point, but kind of interesting because again, we go back to where we had that Wisconsin thing earlier on, but you go down here and it has a breakdown of the different states and capita numbers, and the darker the red, the more that's actually there, right? So
Yeah.
but like Wisconsin isn't that dark red; they're like in that middle orange. But Maine, because you have a lot of people in Maine, right? So it sticks out more.
Yeah.
You got people spread out across that state, just like you have out in these
like
states.
Vermont, Maine, and Montana. You got 12 people in the state. So come on. Same thing. Wyoming. What do you got? Get out of here. I have more people on my block than you do on your street. Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Vermont's like, we got Ben and Jerry's and we got beer. So there you go. But it's interesting to see how it's actually there. But what I like is seeing like here, we talk about Ohio and stuff here. Like Ohio's kind of in that middle area. Yeah. You got Michigan up there. You got Wisconsin. Illinois was a little bit less than I thought it was going to be. I thought Illinois might have been more to that orange as well. But it might just be Chicago heavy, maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, that's like I'm looking at the people above. South Carolina? Come on now.
Yeah. Well, South Carolina's light though, because they're like the yellow.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they're on the same level with you. Yeah. So yeah.
But look at California. California is like right with us at the same amount. And look at our primo, breweries in California.
Yeah, but California's like how many people out there? I mean, they're like the number 5 economy in the world. So they got like tons of people and But it's interesting because
this is like at the bottom. Like, look at Texas at the bottom. I mean, Texas is known for their beer, but big state, not enough breweries.
Not enough brewing. They're kind of spread out in some parts too. But we do like stuff like the Midwest show, and you got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right there showing to have some pretty good per capita number. Like I said, I just think Illinois is just more the top heavy up top, maybe, but that in Indiana. But still, it's some good beer in Missouri would be considered part of the Midwest. Missouri has some decent breweries with Boulevard and some stuff happening out there as well. But but it's just kind of interesting to come out with this report about the per capita type stuff. Which all in all probably doesn't mean much anyway to a lot of people, but just interesting to see where a lot of the brewing is taking place. Because New York, you would think New York might be more towards the middle too, but they're like lighter yellow, just like Illinois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're right there above California.
Right. So it's interesting. And then Alaska is bright red. Well, how many people you got in Alaska? And what are you going to do in Alaska? You got to be drinking. You're drinking and you're fishing. You're trying to stay warm. So it makes sense for Alaska to have a high number for sure. But just one of those interesting reports you see out there. It was funny. I was talking to the Gnarly Gnome at Oktoberfest today, and we were talking about some of these lists that get compiled by people. And it's like the best 10 IPAs or the best 10 breweries and all that kind of stuff. And his thought process is the same as mine. And like, unless you've gone to every one or you had every one, then we don't want to see your list. Like, just say like the 10 that I would choose as my top 10, because unless you go to every one, like there's always going to be something out there you haven't had that's going to be probably doing a great job. So lists are like that. Lists are like statistics when I was in school. Like when I took statistics in college, and they were like, "What do you want? What do you want to come out of the chart?"
Yeah,
and you're like, "Just let me know, and I'll set up I'll set up the vertical and horizontal to match, and we'll be going up. So I can make it go up. We just need to know what your goal is, and correlate to anything." And they were like, "That's how people use statistics." It's like, interesting. So you always got to be careful on that stuff. Let's see here on some of the comments. JT says, Cyril, you're a big Ween fan, so you used to have a beer called Bludgeon Your Eye after a Ween lyric. And so Colorado looks like a microbrewery capital. Well, Colorado does their damage with beer. I mean, that's why they hold a Great American Beer Fest there every year, which I wish they would take it on the road at some point in like other parts of the country. But it is what it is. That's their baby.
Yeah.
Look how pathetic the crap scene in Texas. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the breweries I went to in Texas one time. It was Three Nations, I believe, and they were in the Dallas area. Really good brewery. They're actually making some good noise now, but I remember like I had to look to find a good brewery to go to because there wasn't as many. And now this was like 2010, 2011. So I haven't been back there in a while, but it's just, we're probably spread out like this Texas. So, you know, I handle part of that for
probably
my
drinking a lot of
day
Steiner
job.
Bach when you were out there. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, it's spread out. Like I handle that as part of my day job with some stuff. And it's like, if you were to drive from Houston to some of the spots down in southern Texas, you're driving 3 hours sometimes to get to their city. So there's not much in between. So, yeah. Oh, there's no Jerry? Did Jerry die?
No, I think Jerry is Jimmy Kimmeled.
Oh, really? I did not realize that. But it's still Ben and Jerry's ice cream.
Yeah.
But they kind of bought Jerry out on it.
I think he's Jimmy Kimmeled.
That's interesting. But why not Ben? They both say like do stuff. So that's interesting. Don't even get me started on the Jimmy Kimmel thing now.
Yeah. Yeah, last time we did a show, somebody called me a leftist. So, yeah.
Somebody did call you a leftist.
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Stick my left foot up your ass.
It's like, why are you attacking me? What did I do? Yeah. Sometimes people just lash out, I guess.
Yeah.
But this is something new, and I was telling Dave about this one earlier. So, and it's funny because they just reached out to me about attending an event with this. But Mad Tree Brewing teamed up with New Riff Distilling, and usually their sway is their vodka soda, but they teamed up to make a Raven's Riff sway where it's going to be done with the bourbon. It's going to be a bourbon highball, 8% ABV as shown here. And I'm like, this looks pretty cool. And New Riff is one of those distilleries that has kind of been all over the country now. People all over are starting to know about New Riff. So I'm going to probably be checking this out here beginning of October, and stay tuned for that when I'm out there for an event. But it looks pretty slick. I like it. I'm just I haven't gotten to their suede line and start reviewing them as of yet, but there's so much things that are changing, not just for beer, but just in the alcohol business, like all these different things they're doing, which I think is cool. I think it's, you got to be able to reinvent yourself. Try. Yeah. You got to reinvent yourself. So
wait, I have a dog coming back. Hold on. Moira, come here. You want to be in a live stream? All right, never mind. We're back.
Just don't let her start hitting the buttons like Kirk Herbstreit.
Yeah.
We'll be out of a job. Oh, the original sold a company in the 2000s? Ben and Jerry did?
Yeah.
He quit over political difference. So he wasn't Kimmel. He left on his own. So
yeah.
I
read something that they were like, I don't know, whatever I read, like they were kind of like pushing his views off to the side.
Yeah. I mean,
but I'm a leftist, so I probably fucking read it wrong.
I don't know what they expected from Ben and Jerry. I mean, it's kind of like, it's kind of like I saw a post one time, and it was against the machine or whatever like that and everything, and someone had commented like, I was like, I appreciated them more when they didn't have their political views. I'm like, either that's sarcasm or you don't know what the hell you're talking about, because Rage Against the Machine has always been political.
Yeah. Rage Against the Machine was never playing love songs. Yeah.
Right. You never saw them as a doo-wop group, right? So it's like, I think you're just messing with me right now.
Yeah.
And the other thing with the beer news coming up, and I have a few people. Todd's going to be going to this, and a few other people I know. But 450 North has their annual corn maze set up. It'll take place in Indiana, where they'll be basically they're inside of a huge corn maze that you try to work through. But as you work through, different spots have different beers. So
right.
that's good. I guess everybody gets out of it by the end of it, but
You hope.
You hope. I mean, just well, if I'm lost with beer, so it can't be overly bad, right? So gonna send somebody in there. But yeah, so this takes place every year. And they open like 11 a.m. I think it goes up maybe into the evening even. So it's usually a pretty good time from everything I've heard about it. But yeah, the annual corn maze for 450 North. And can't tell you for sure what the ABV is, but I never know with those guys anymore.
Rod, yeah. Actually, I'm talking about exploding cans, Rod.
Yeah. It's like they seem to hide their ABV on their cans nowadays. And you got to really look to try to find it on there. And then you're like, are you sure this is
eight-ish? Yeah.
Man, that was a whole big thing. Like when that happens, I had done a video about that when that happened, and it's just like you didn't realize, like when you did that and you came back in the second fermentation and you did that with the fruit, that it was going to change the ABV. Like they just didn't realize that, So you tell people it's 10% ABV and people are drinking like, I don't feel anything, and it's only 4%. So
I don't think, to be honest with you, I've ever had a 450 North.
Never had any of their.
I don't think so, and I could get them here, and even like when I see them, I'm like, but I should just grab one and pick it up and give it a whirl. I have not, to my knowledge, I have not had one.
Yeah, I like the Slushy XL series and stuff they do, but it's like that thing. Like, are we still going to call this beer? Because it really doesn't feel like it's beer. It's like when you go to Bourbon Street, and it's got the alcohol in the little spinning things, and you're like, they put it in your cup. It's like that feels more like that than anything. Like, I'm not going to call that a cocktail. That's just like a frozen drink, right?
It's like a alcoholic slush puppy or something. Yeah,
right. Yeah, like this would be something different, but it's still considered beer because of how it's made. But that's the interesting thing that changes with beer nowadays.
Yeah.
They can't tell you the ABV, but we know it's overpriced. Yeah. Well, it's kind of like for all the fruit and stuff. It's like Urban Artifact here. Like people were always like upset about the cost of Urban Artifact. I'm like, seriously though, if you know like the cost they have to put in for the fruit, because they're using actual fruit, not just a whole natural flavor type stuff.
Yeah.
So the costs are going to be higher on it. But I think with them, people were just pissed because they didn't really understand that, and then they're like, literally get this higher ABV to get their little buzz kicked in, and never did. And like, why now? I paid more money for something I didn't really need. It didn't even work. So blah blah blah. So that's where they kind of screwed up. I think. Come for the hype, stay for the candy corn. Yeah. People love the fest, the Maze Fest though. So yeah, I had one once.
I'm going to close this out with a zombie ice.
Oh, you're going to get a zombie ice now? You're all in the Three Floyds tonight.
I had a mix pack deal. I mean, it wasn't a Ron J deal, but it was a mix pack. So I'll be right back in a second.
Okay. So Dave is feeling the Three Floyds tonight, folks. So I'm going to actually grab, I guess, one more here. So convenient having the beer fridge right next to me now. I want to drink this one here. This is like the night drink right here. Night, Gracie. So I'm going to actually do the wooden cask Blackfire bourbon barrel aged smoked stout. So wooden cask is one of our Cincinnati area breweries. They're actually in Northern Kentucky. This one comes in at 12.7% ABV. And here's a look at the can itself. Shout out to Randy over there at Wooden Cask, the owner and brewer. And when I came back to Ohio from being in Baltimore, I was coming back through. I had to go to Detroit for a job thing. Came back down, stopped at the one of the little gas station things where they got the craft beer. This is one of the beers they actually had there, and I had not had winning cast for a number of years. I got to grab it, got to get it. So, and yeah, so I'm going to crack this one, put it into a glass.
Yeah, I mix it up. I'm having a Miskatonic instead because I haven't talked about them in a long time. So this is their Valkyrie Hazy IPA. A friend of mine, Sarah, brought this over the other night. 7% alcohol. They're located in Darien, Illinois. I like everything they put out. I don't see a lot of it, but it's good. And this Valkyrie's pretty tasty.
Nice. Well, right there, the head dissipated really quickly on that one.
Yeah,
So,
no head, no head, no backstage pass. That's it.
Yeah. I do like, yeah. I always love a good smoke on stuff. But I got to do the video. I actually have a little smoker to smoke your drinks. I got to do a video on that to share with you guys at some point here too. I haven't used it yet, but it came like with oak and hickory and like some flavor type ones. And basically you take the chips, put them in this little smoker, you put it on top of the glass, and it smokes the drink inside the glass. And I'm like, that's got to be a win, right? Because I wanted to try it out so I can share it with y'all.
See, and I bought one a couple years ago to use for like to give like because I see there was this one steakhouse that's no longer here, but they would like subtly smoke the steaks and then sous vide them. And I'm like, what if I got one of these type of smokers? And I bought one. And like the first use, and I read the directions, I blew out the screen on the smoker. I'm like, I get one use out of this. I returned it.
Yeah.
I mean, it did a nice job, but if you burn it out after one use, what good is this going to be?
What good is it? Right. Yeah. Whatever was a defective one, did you get a replacement or you just kind of?
I just returned it, got my money back, and maybe I'll pick up another one down the road because in theory it was good and the steaks were really good, but it's just like, I spent like $70 to get one use out of this. No, it's got to go back. Yeah.
And then how was the Three Floyds Lager, Dave? Is a hoppy.
This is Miskatonic.
Yeah, so he didn't do the lager. Yeah.
I've had the Three Floyds Oktoberfest. It's really good. Not overly hoppy, but it was solid Oktoberfest. I mean, you're not expecting, a ton of Cascade hops in an Oktoberfest, but no, solid beer.
Yeah. That is in the one video I uploaded with the difference between the Merson and Fest beer, just for people to actually know if they're doing Oktoberfest stuff. But it's interesting. Like I'm more of a Merson guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm more of a Merson guy. I like the heavier malt.
I like the malt. I like the sweetness of that malt. It just kind of hits right. Nice cool day. Not that we have it today, but the weather starts to turn. Yeah, it's just it hits right. Like just sit outside, maybe have a fire going outside, maybe throw something on the grill.
Yeah. It's like I got home earlier and it was like, I got time before we go live tonight, and I couldn't even sit outside and smoke a cigar and have a beer because it was so freaking hot. Like it just wouldn't be pleasant. It wouldn't be pleasant. I could do it, but it just wouldn't be as pleasant as I want it to be. So I need to get back down into that 70 degrees. Like I said, enjoy a stogie and a nice
maybe
beer.
In a couple of weeks we could do like an outdoor version. We could sit outside. I could bring the camera outside and we could do a cigar.
I could do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We could do an outdoor version as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll have to rig up some lighting but yeah, sit outside, have a stick and have a couple beers.
Yeah. Yeah. That would definitely work.
Yeah.
Actually, I found a pretty good deal. If you're to smoke, I could send you a thing, but I got a pretty good deal that I found from cigarpage.com. They hook you up with some pretty good cigars for some reasonable prices and stuff too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have my humidor. I used to have a really nice humidor. I don't have that anymore. I haven't had a stick in a good year. So, but no, I'm a big go for a good cigar.
Yeah. Well, with Mallory, Big Daddy, and she's got a lot of stuff because she's actually been doing a lot of stuff with Steve Ravine Brewing, and she has some other stuff they were doing with her and Chew. So that's why we actually hadn't had her on as much. Well, me and Todd did the happy hour, but she's been so busy on that stuff that we haven't been able to get her hooked back up and everything. Because Friday night at a brewery, it's definitely one of her heavier type nights and stuff. When we were doing the Thursday nights, it made it easier for her to try to pop on stuff. But actually, you need to reach out to her and see how it is going for stuff there too. But last I heard, everything is going smoothly, but they had to do a whole transition there from Ravinia to Steep Ravine, and seems like they got a lot of stuff they're putting out on social media and stuff, so they're trying to get the push going for sure. Yeah, it's been a while since we've had her on there, and her channel, because of being so busy, they have not been able to really post as much. So she was really going through my channel and post up to her channel even. So yeah, I'll have to reach out. But
you're a good girl.
This Blackfire is definitely just hitting.
You're a good girl. You want to go bother your mother?
Yeah, he's talking to his dog, by the way, if y'all don't know.
Yeah. You want to piss off mommy? Go see your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Go see your mother. She wants to see you.
So with this one here, it's got a little bit of a chewiness with it too, which is interesting with this Blackfire. Definitely get that barrel. But yeah, beer news wise, that's the beer news we have for this week there. So not other stuff really too much happening. October, for those that follow the Facebook page, if you saw, I'm going to actually be doing a beer tasting at our River Roots Festival we have in Cincinnati. So that could be interesting. See how many people show up for that. But taking people through beer tasting and talking about social media should be a fun time.
Yeah. I mean, I got this coming Thursday, I'm going to go down to Haymarket in Chicago, and we're going to talk about their brewery, their history, and we're going to sample. I know what I'm going to be eating, and it sounds phenomenal. So you'll just have to stay tuned for it. But that's going to be the latest in the beer and food, pairing series. So that looks really good. Hopefully they'll share the recipe that I could share with listeners. If not, I know they make a great fish and chips with one of their lagers, and I know there's another restaurant that's close to me, Mrs. Murphy's, that JT probably knows about, but they use their lager and their fish and chips. That's absolutely great. One of my favorite places in the city for fish and chips. The French fries, the chips, they make it in beef fat. Oh my God, is that good? So, if I don't get the recipe for the dish that they're going to share, I'll post the fish and chips recipe, and that's outstanding. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm going to talk to them on Thursday. I'll probably have that out, a week or so afterwards after I edited. But yeah, I'm really stoked about that.
Was beef fat better than duck fat though?
I don't know.
They do duck fat here in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. The beef fat fries. Well, until the 70s, maybe, McDonald's fries had beef fat in them. Yeah. And then they went to oil or whatever. But yeah, beef fat fries are the shit.
Yeah. Well, I know Shake and Steak here, and I haven't tried them since they did it, but they went to Tatla. They went to do stuff, and people have kind of talked about their fries being pretty good now too. So,
yeah, I haven't been to Steak and Shake in 5 or 6 years, but they always had those real skinny bad fries, or the French fries. They were good. Yeah.
He said I went to Miss Murphy's on a bad day, I guess, about 6 or 7 years ago.
Yeah, they're good. Couple other fish and chip places are good, but if you go during Lent when everyone's going, it's because they're just churning it out. But you go now, their fish and chips have always been solid for me.
Yeah, some good fish and chips aren't bad to have. So
yeah, It's just like great comfort food. Like we were talking chili earlier, or red beans and rice. That's just a good like comfort food. Just give me some fish and chips. I'm good.
Yeah. Definitely
Meatloaf,
does
yeah.
hit. Yeah. Meatloaf.
Oh, I love a good
Yeah.
meatloaf. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a place here that we found out they do like meatloaf sandwiches, which are pretty
Oh,
solid. Yeah. These have beef fat until 2000s, and some vegetarians call them out.
Yeah.
Haymarket was on our brewery tour with Marty Nachel. Great food, great beer. On my barbecue team twice for the Old Urban Beer and Barbecue Challenge, which Haymarket ran. Nice. Yeah, Marty's been pretty busy doing a lot of stuff here.
Yeah.
Marty's a busy man. The book he's working on right now were beer stories. I couldn't think of a beer story in time to really get him something.
Yeah, I got him something, so I'll see if I make the cut.
Yeah. But I could have got him the one that got me into craft beer. I could have had a story, but I just never thought about the time that I was past the cutoff. When you have so much stuff happen, it's hard to keep up on everything.
Yeah.
Spoiled in Chicago, so many great spots to choose from. Yeah. That's a good problem to have, though. That's a good problem to have. Cincinnati's
even though we're below like North Dakota in breweries per capita. Yeah.
But that's not your fault, though. I mean, you've got a lot of people versus living in North Dakota, right? So which I didn't realize. Someone had mentioned to me, speaking of other breweries, that Great Divide's not making beer now.
I thought I saw something about that.
I didn't realize that. Like that Great Divide wasn't actually, because I got like Yetis and stuff that I'm going to do some reviews on, and I didn't realize they had not been doing it now. That's interesting. Again, they're one of the ones that have been out there for a number of years.
Yeah, but they were like those, 10, 12 years ago. All these national brands were out there, and then like people were just like, I'm going to drink local, and like Left Hand, you don't see around much anymore. Ballast Point was another one that you don't see. I mean, there were just a ton of, there's only a handful of like national. You have your New Belgium, you have your Great Lakes, you have Bell's. There's not a lot of like national craft brewery brands anymore. The F Word in Grand Rapids is another one, but it's not a lot. Firestone Walker. I'm just trying to think of some off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Sierra Nevada, but it's not as many as
even Firestone isn't everywhere, Yeah. Because I know I did that video for their Oktoberfest when the guys mentioned they wish they got Firestone back in their area.
Yeah.
Just some of the distribution and some of the pullback. And I mentioned earlier here, I know we talked about Bell's 40th, but I know they were pulling back from some of their distribution to focus more around the Midwestern states. It's hard. It's tough. I mean, the dollars aren't coming in. You got to justify, maybe it's time to cut back.
Be more like Spotted Cow. Just do it in your home state with all your alcoholic Wisconsinites.
Yeah. Well, I will say one brewery that I'm actually glad that doesn't do that. If there's one brewery I think of that I like to acquire beers from that are not in my region, then that would be Epic out of Utah.
Okay.
Because I can still get their Big Bad Baptist. It was so funny when me and Todd, when he came up and we went to Jungle Gyms, and I was like, hey, Todd, look, because Todd can't get it down in Indiana where he's at. And he turned around, all these Big Bad Baptists. He's just like a kid in the candy store. But it's like, that's one of those ones. I don't know, is there like a brewery that you think of that's not in your region, but you love when you come across their stuff that you still look forward to getting,
I can't think of any off the top of my head, probably because I'm on my fourth beer. But there's so much other good stuff that's there that like you don't miss it or you don't think about it until you see it.
Right. Yeah, that can be the case there. But I get more excited seeing what Epic's doing, like when they're Big Bad Baptist for me, versus sometimes seeing like Goose Island doing in the Bourbon County type stuff.
Yeah.
Which I still end up picking up at some point, usually because we usually have enough around. I'll end up coming across it. We just don't stand in line for it anymore. But
No.
But value wise, like Big Bad Baptist gives you a great value in the beer from the ones they're actually doing. So, but they announced their lineup for this year coming out, and again, it is pretty solid. It's a solid lineup. So if you're a Big Bad Baptist fan, be on the lookout for those.
Yeah, I saw actually. Speaking of like big beers, I'm trying to pull up. Half Acre had like this big beer with ancho chilies. So let me pull that up real quick while we're talking. So I'm like, oh, I just saw that like yesterday. I'm like, that sounds really good.
Oh yeah, big day that Miss Bear Republic, Racer X, and Hop Red. The funny thing with Racer X, I had numerous times to drink that beer and I just didn't, and then all of a sudden it's gone, and it's like I should have drank it when I had a chance to drink it. It's like that's just the story of craft beer, though.
Hop Rod Rye was one of my favorites like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
All right, so Half Acre, it's an online sale and it ended, so that must have went quick. But it's a beer called Ancho Catch Hell, and it's like ancho chilies in this. Sounds intriguing. I'm sure they'll have it like on draft, so I'll have to go pick it up. And hopefully maybe a can will come across my path. But it's
if
a bourbon
barrel aged crowd. Get a crowd if they have it on draft if they do it, maybe.
Yeah, it's a bourbon barrel aged imperial stout with cinnamon, vanilla, and ancho peppers.
Okay.
And I remember one, and I've talked about it on my show a couple times. It's one of like the beers I remember, and it was so good, and it was from but it was called Imperial End of Days, and the brewery will come to me, and it was a bourbon barrel aged beer, heavy stout, and it had like peppers in it. But you drank it, you didn't get the heat until the end. When you drank it, it almost tasted like tart cherry, and at the end, it had just this little bit of like heat. It was so good, pipe works. But Imperial End of Day. So hopefully this Catchell or Ancho beer from Half Acres like that, and I'll have to get my hands on that.
Okay. Yeah, I've actually got a Pipeworks Pamela ought to do a review on actually this weekend. Try to get that done as well. But I like Pipeworks. Well, Big Daddy's the one that got us the Ninja versus Unicorn, which is really good before too. Yeah. We get that now in distribution here too, so we're getting
really? Okay, cool.
Coming through. Yeah, it's always funny how distribution works. So the things you'll come across sometimes, and it's like the thing you don't come across. It's like I was trying to find the that Dragon's Milk variant that came out, and like the store I was at, they were like, "Oh, all they get is the base. They don't get anything else and stuff like that." And I can go like Jungle Gyms or something like that and everything just to kind of find it, but it's just like some of the people don't buy some of the stuff at some of the store. It's like they don't get it in. But well, I think that's what we got for the beer news this week. So we'll go ahead and get kind of wrapped up here. And thanks for everybody that tuned in. And glad I made it through because I was telling Dave earlier. I mean, I didn't have a problem. I think I was going to make it through, but it was like when you go out there, you're drinking beers when the sun's beating down on you. That's like just telling you to ask to go to bed, right? It's just
that's like just a power nap, and you wake up at like 2 a.m. and you're just like, what the hell time is it?
Well, it was funny when I told the wife I was going down Oktoberfest, and she's like, okay, so you come back like what, like 11, 12, like at midnight? That's not I got a live stream. Like I'm not going to be down there all day. And there's no way you can be down there all day in that heat. It would have been brutal, So you only drink beer for so long. Even when you go to a beer festival, you go like a 4-hour type shift and everything. And it's just like you get back and you're ready to kind of relax.
Yeah, it's that hot. Like I always like bringing like a water bottle with some liquid IV, something in there, because like you got to rehydrate because you're else you're just going to be like hammered after 2 beers.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have to down there and stuff. So I had some bride abroad. I had a met, had a couple hot dogs, and I was down there because I was down there for about like 6 hours or so, and had a. Oh,
Just
I did
hot
have a.
dog. That was it. No
I,
brats down there. Yeah.
no, that's just that.
No
Yeah,
pretzels.
I said I had a brat, and I had a met, and I had a couple hot dogs. So, and then had a red velvet funnel cake, which was really good.
Ooh.
I like red velvet. Yeah. So that was pretty decent in my opinion. If you're a funnel cake type person,
yeah,
I enjoyed that one there. But they had like a lot of the other German type dishes there and different type potato salads and all kinds of stuff. I almost got some fudge to bring home, and I'm like, I don't need that in my life. I'm already drinking beer. I don't need any more fudge. I mean, I'm already trying to get back to working out a little bit, and that's yeah.
Do they have any good like schnitzel or anything like that?
They had schnitzel down there. I didn't have any of that. They had some of the pretzels. Yeah, I mean, it's like all kind of just German type dishes and stuff. So it goes through Sunday. So I might pop through there again on Sunday to see, depending on what's going on, or maybe tomorrow, just to kind of check out some of the other stuff they had down there. But it was like a ton of walking in that heat. Like I said, the heat was the biggest driving thing. So everybody was trying to find shade at a certain point. They're like, why are you standing in the sun? Well, like, we weren't standing in the sun when we began. The shade was here. The sun moved.
Yeah.
So, or we moved. So we had to go find shade again. So, yeah. But heat is something.
Yeah.
Week 3, I'm leading my pick 'em group on Yahoo. Picks for the week: Dallas over Chicago, Las Vegas over Washington, and Houston over Jacksonville.
Washington doesn't have their quarterback, so take Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully Vegas, shout out to Gino, my WV alum, bounces back, I guess, because I heard he had a brutal game last weekend. So only like 3 picks out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll be tomorrow's my day. I'm all college on Saturday, so I'll be watching that stuff there. So we actually take on Kansas for a night game. So hopefully we do well. Us beating Pitt was great to see last week for West Virginia. So I thought for sure we were like our season was done after we lost to Ohio. You lost to a team from Athens, Ohio. Your season's over. You lost to a MAC team. A MAC team. That's not good when you're like Big 12. But we bounced back, so okay. The ship's not destined to hit that iceberg. It kind of diverted the first thing here, so we'll see how we'll finish. Yeah. But yeah, Stoner Kitchen in the house. Cheers, my friend.
Right.
Yeah. But so we're going to get wrapped up here. Otherwise, we're going to be here rambling on other stuff. You guys probably don't want to hear 2 old men rambling all the time. So maybe you do. Maybe rambling's your thing. But make sure to check out Dave over at Beer in Front. And then obviously, if you're on my channel here, check out more stuff I have coming this week. I got a couple other videos I worked on to share some other stuff away from just the beer reviews. So that'll be cool to share. And then we'll catch up with you guys here in a couple of weeks on the next Midwest Beer Show.
Yeah, it might be a little earlier in 2 weeks, but, check our socials and you'll find the time. But I might have a little free time coming up, so we might get this out a little earlier for you folks in 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we will see. So that being said, we are out of here. You guys have a great weekend. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. They got some